go that way? We're not even that far, no.
That's good.
Hello children, my name is Rick. As you probably know, my brother and sister trees in the world's rainforests are being destroyed, but desert, where we once lived.
I walk around little Piccadilly, just some photos.
There's a dollar there.
We're now just coming into Piccadilly Circus.
Squashed at the back.
And the house for tonight is Icky. Stay there, Rick, stay there, stay there. Yeah. Thank you. Here's a spot.
Oh, it's me, look. It's me.
Go. Where is it? Yeah.
Dad, you and Sharon want one? Don't think it come out though.
Give me the lovely card. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Sorry. Stay there.
The Lady Gaga. There's Taylor Swift. Kylie. Yeah. Victoria, Herbert, Marie Antoinette.
To meet up with you on the RAINFOREST sorted out times before. They use calipers to make most of my measurements, like the distance from the tip of my cheek to the top of my cheekbone.
Brought out a box of eyes to choose the
Closest color to match mine.
The eyes for my figures would all be special.
And Steve took samples away
That's
so
Madame Tussauds.
able to create a perfect match. Finally, the hair. Victor brought along a selection of various color samples for us to use. First, they picked metal armatures like a skeleton to support.
Starting shortly. See the main.
How many of you? Just two, okay?
Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Querido Milán, el máximo por vagón es de 8 personas. Una vez dentro de sus rodados
Welcome
que
to the spirit of London.
That is the question. Whether it is
The King of England's baker, who meant the bread burn, has been blamed for the Great Fire of London. By order of His Majesty King Charles II, Sir Christopher Wren was given the task of rebuilding St Paul's. This time, London was built in stone, from the ruins of the
take your photo. Oi, oi, oi! I'm about to take...
Yeah. Walker. Princess Leia. There's always a gift shop on the way out.
I'm just going to the toilet.
I'm gonna go, yeah. You stay like a minute while I go to the loo, please.
Huh?
Buenas más.
London Eye. Are you ready to be part of London's skyline? Whilst you're enjoying the amazing views, the ride might stop briefly at times, just to help other guests get on. This is totally normal.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Is it BT short? Yeah. I don't know now. Probably.
St. Paul's Cathedral. check on the island. You can't film it. We're now on a boat to going up the Thames for an hour. Oh, the guys are back here already.
Oh, sorry. Smile, Blake. Got one. Right, smile. Okay, Lucy. And what's it on?
It's just pulled over to the London Eye to pick some more passengers up, but I don't think there's going to be many.
The boats of Tower Bridge. They say if you can get a picture of a double-decker bus in the middle of Tower Bridge, well, that's two iconic sights of London. That will cost you £5 on a postcard. If the bus is stuck in traffic, well, that's 3 iconic sights of London. Now, once you've taken your photos of Tower Bridge, staying on the right-hand side, there's another good photo of the Tower of London. The Tower of London is nearly 1,000 years old. It was founded by William the Conqueror, and it's absolutely steeped in English history. It's been without a live commentary, and you would have gone through the tunnel where it says entry to the Traitor's Gate, and you would have had your head removed, dipped in tar and placed on a spike above London Bridge, and that would be to warn all other traitors. But we now have far bigger punishments here in the UK. We have something called community service. We often get asked on this boat, where is the bloody towel? Well, if you look to the Sadiq Khan. Now, staying on the left-hand side, you may or may not see it, because it's camouflage. The HMS Belfast. The HMS Belfast was launched in Belfast on St Patrick's Day in 1938 in the Harland and Wolff shipyard. That was the same shipyard that constructed the Titanic. It was one of the first British ships to fire its guns in anger on D-Day. It's a floating museum. You can go on board with the children and go on all 9 decks. It's a fantastic day out for the kids. Now, what's interesting about the Belfast is the front of the ship. You are looking at the only Union Jack flag here in London. Now, to be called a Union Jack, it must be on the front of a British warship, and it must be on a wooden jackstaff. So all of the other flags you've seen today, or will see throughout the day, they are called Union flags. Staying on the left-hand side, you cannot miss it. It's Western Europe's tallest building. It's the Shard, or better known as the Shard of Glass. It stands at over 1,000 feet tall, and it's home to the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel. Now, you can go up the Shard. On the 72nd floor, they have a viewing platform. It's around £25, and on a clear sunny day, you can see up to 50 miles in every given direction. The architect of the Shard was on a budget. Look over to the right-hand side, the building that looks like a building. As you can see, they also have a viewing platform. It's called the Sky Garden. Now, a lot of our passengers don't know this, but it's completely free of charge. I imagine the views are very similar to the Shard. Back over to the left-hand side, you can see London Bridge. Get your bill. Well, It's very, very expensive. We're surely going to be going under the world famous London Bridge. Now people come from all around the world to see London Bridge. And guess what, folks? By the Romans over 2,000 years ago. And it was made out of wood. The last one was taken down and sold to an American man. It now stands in Arizona. On the left-hand side, in between the two buildings, that's... Well, the next bridge is not a very interesting... Some days you wish you never looked. And some days are so good. Well, me and Captain Sid. Has anybody seen the TV programme, Towie? Well, that's how they get their own back. One of those grey containers is the equivalent to one lorry. A lot of the emergency services and the workers here in London, they will use that bridge because it's the least congested. Now on the left-hand side, you're surely going to see a circle white building. It's one of the only thatched roofs left here in London because after the Great Fire of London, all thatched roofs are now banned. Now you can see a play over there on certain days in its periodic fashion for as low as £5. Now that's not bad value for money here in London, considering a pint of beer is around £6 plus. Many years ago there used to be an office on that site and people used to put money into boxes and they took it to the office. We believe in London, it's where the was closed at 10 o'clock in the morning by the police because it was swaying side to side. It's where it gets its nickname, the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. Now the architect of this bridge, live on television, he said, there was nothing wrong with my bridge. It was the way Londoners walk. Unbelievable. Masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. Now many important people have had their funerals over at St Paul's, such as Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, and of course himself, Sir Christopher Wren. But it's a London architect's nightmare, because it's forbidden to cast a shadow over St Paul's. This is why you don't see any high-rise buildings being constructed around the cathedral. But the red, it will cost mummy or daddy £60,000 a year to send your child to the City of London. And for that kind of money, I would want my child to walk out with magical powers as well. Big bridge. Now you may remember this bridge from a film called Mission Impossible. When Tom Cruise's solar panel bridge in Europe, it gets 50% of its power from its roof for the station underneath. If you look up to the very top, you can see people waiting for their train. It's a platform bridge. It cost £500 million to construct this bridge. And as you can see directly in front, there's another bridge. That's called Blackfriars Oak Bridge, opened by Queen Victoria, and the architect was John Cubitt. He was also the as Mum's Gravy. Now it's completely forbidden to advertise on the banks of the River Thames. This is why you don't see billboard signs or McDonald's signs. They said it was a complete coincidence how their brand ended up in their windows. They was a restaurant, and just underneath, some unaffordable luxury apartments. Staying on the left, one of the finest beaches in Europe, Costa del London, also referred to as the London Riviera, as where they filmed Baywatch. Normally you see kids playing with the broken glass and the dogs drinking the polluted Thames water. It's well worth a visit, folks, just don't forget your sun cream. But staying on the left, the tall building with the scaffolding at the bottom, that's called Kent House. You are now in the backdrop of live television. That's where they filmed the likes of ITV News or This Morning. So if you told your boss you was feeling sick today, well, he now knows you was on a boat. Kent House. On the right hand side, just before 20 years. On the left-hand side, the building with that building gets voted year after year as the ugliest building in the whole of the UK. But please don't judge a book by its cover, because it has 3 of the finest auditoriums in the world inside. Back over to the right-hand side, just above the trees, the beautiful stone building with the green dome and the Ukrainian flag. That's called Somerset House. They would have 90 seconds to board that boat and come and help us. They do a fantastic job out here on the River Thames. We're now going under Waterloo Bridge, also known as the Lake, built this bridge. It was the only bridge in London to be ever. I did hear there was a man in charge. He was in charge of the TLC. Now on the left-hand side, you can see the Royal Festival. Now many of the greats have performed at the Royal Festival Hall. Sadly, they all have one thing in common. They're no longer with us today. So we're just waiting now for the Justin Bieber concert. It's 3,500 years old. It's older than London itself. It was given to this country by our Egyptian friends for Lord Nelson's bravery in the Battle of Nile. Now they make those obelisks in pairs. The other one stands in New York. So if you're ever in New York, do look out. The Food Network is directly beneath the boats. Now as we go underneath the bridge, on the left-hand side, you cannot miss it. It's observation wheel in the rock. It's the London Eye. Now the London Eye was put here in London in the year 2000. The London Eye is now here to stay. On a clear sunny day, in the height of our peak season, that wheel makes £250,000 a day. That's £17,000 on one single rotation. Now people in London have been petitioning for its name to be changed to the Wheel of Fortune. The London Eye has 32 capsules, or 32 pods. That's not a random number. That's one capsule for every borough of Greater London. In fact, it's numbered 1 to 33, because there is no capsule 13. British Airways don't do the number 13. They deem it as unlucky. To the west. Now staying on the left-hand side, the Stone Building Entertainment Group. It's where you'll find Shrek's Adventure, the Sea Life Centre, and the London Dungeons, and a lovely restaurant that sells the very best prime Angus beef by the name of McDonald's. Well worth a visit, folks. Now just ahead of the boats, we have that building. Well, I hear it has the very best CCTV in central London. Does anybody know our Playboy Politics Secretary? Well, that was where it happened. Naughty, naughty man. So we're surely going to be making our approach now into Westminster Pier. If I can ask all passengers to please remain seated, just till the boat's fully...